Hey, what's up? I'm watching an interesting video. Uh, it's a video called "The Rich Don't Send Their Kids to the School They Built for You." Um, I've seen a lot of videos that cover how America and a lot of Western nations got their current public education system, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about the public education system. Um, The idea of having a national public education system is good. I think the first crack at it is the first crack at it is fine. Um, you know, in general, kids are doing kids are getting something out of it. Um, I did. I got something when I went to school. Maybe more and more the system is getting crappier and crappier. But that's actually by design. That is by intention. Uh, and like with everything else in America, you can just blame that on Republicans. Um, each new Republican administration that gets in basically just grabs the nearest sledgehammer and says, what else can I demolish in America for the poor man? Whilst running on a campaign of, I'm going to make things great for you, poor man. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the poor white man is just living in denial, or what. The poor southern white man is just like, yeah, it's just like my granddaddy voted for it. I mean, like, what are they doing? I don't even know. And the Dems sold out to the corpo Dems, so it's just like this shit's been going bad for basically Reagan was Satan reincarnated on Earth, just brought to Earth. So yeah, and this is about education, so whatever. Um, when did public education start? I don't know, 1900s, something like that. But yeah, first it started out and it made a big dent because first of all, it got kids out of being child labor, and it made you able to read and write, learn basic arithmetic, made you aware of a little bit of history, a little bit of geography, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of art, just kind of made you aware of a little bit of stuff, even if it was admittedly a lot of indoctrination. But hopefully what it did more than anything was pique your interest. And for those willing, it would kind of set you on the path of this is what it is. Go a little bit further. There's a network of libraries, and they're free. Or if this isn't your thing, we have a whole shitload of factories. Work in the factories. Join the military. Be a cop. That was kind of the first round of things. Now it's becoming more and more obvious that more and more the flaws in the way the educational system works is it's being exposed, because the educational system was based on a theory of memorization and all of that stuff. It wasn't based on a principle of critical reasoning, on a foundation of critical reasoning necessarily. And in a lot of ways, most of the time discouraged critical reasoning. Most places, most teachers, most schools were a little discouraging of the annoying student that kept asking questions. But since we have computers and we have all these databases and everything now that basically remember everything for you, and you don't really need to remember anything anymore, that skill is basically offshored. Critical reasoning is the only thing that needs to be taught. So the educational system needs to be drastically reworked. And that is the reform that needs to take place. And so any amount of resources put into reforming the educational system need to go towards that end. And the solution is not to simply do away with the Department of Education. The solution is to redirect the efforts of the Department of Education and also not have private charter schools especially private charter schools that are religious in nature. Public funds should never go to religious schools. If you want your kid to go to a religious school, you should have to pay for it. That is a violation of that one amendment, that clause in the Constitution. Pure and simple. I don't care what Supreme Court justice or what senator or congressman or whatever, what Bible thumping preacher says it isn't, it just is. And no amount of reinterpretation or whatever will ever convince me otherwise. 1 cent. No penny going towards a religious college. Get your own money to go towards sending your kid towards a church school. If you don't think your kid's getting a good education, then rework the public education system, which it should be redone. And it shouldn't be redone so that the 10 Commandments are in every public school, Texas, because that's stupid. In the video, the guy talked about Musk opening up a school in SpaceX because he wanted his kids to have better education. And in that school, there were no tests and no this and no that. I was thinking personally of reforms where, and this was one of the things that Tesla had, that Musk had in his school, where classes wouldn't necessarily be organized based on age. So you would have people of mixed ages in classes. So it would be dependent on their level of attainment in like the subject they were in, for say a math class or something like that. Because some people, I mean, you think of like the Big Bang Theory, like Sheldon, like he, it's a fictional character, I realize that, but some people are math geniuses and they blaze through mathematics and they learn and finish algebra by the time they're 10 years old or something like that. So why not have the not just have the people that are in there, but have it by um, not necessarily ages, but by course, kind of like you have a university. You have it done by more by course than by grade level, and don't necessarily have tests either. But you would have maybe you would have a teacher there. I don't know, someone there to answer questions. And have smaller class sizes, of course, because one person, one adult there, one leader, one supervisor of 30 people in a room, 30 other people in a room. That's too chaotic. And it's both too chaotic, and there's one person can't really get around to answer questions from 30 people and doesn't have the body of experience to deal with questions from 30 different people. Um, and that person would probably have to act like more than just a um, teacher instructor. They'd probably have to act more like a mentor. At least you would want them to get more like that. So, anyways. And, you can, when you reform these things, you can give the Department of Education money and let the Department of Education have the freedom to hand out money to different states to give the states different leeway on the ability to use differing approaches to see, what may work. Especially during this reform period, to find out what new setup could be more beneficial for the learning process. At each stage, for each type of individual. And schools are probably going to need more funding because educating every person in this dynamic kind of non-cookie cutter way may be more expensive, maybe it won't. Maybe it will be cheaper because, like I said, maybe it'll be cheaper because you won't need won't need the administration, won't need as much administration, and I don't know. You can never really predict how things will actually end up. Once everything is playing out. But well, people don't want to be teachers because profession gets such a bad rap for just oh, it just seems like such a crappy job. I mean, it seems like they more and more just want you to sit in a room with 30 ruckus people that, by the way, don't want to be there. So, why would you want that job? It'd be much better if you were asked to be in a room with 10 people who did want to be there and had some incentive to be there because there was something they were getting out of being there. And everybody there would, like I said, it's just a happier place. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I personally, school was okay for me up until I got into high school, and then high school just kind of sucked because it was basically just high school was just boring. It was just boring. Mid school was kind of like, it was kind of boring, but like it was not as boring. It was just whatever. It was like they still let us like they had like recess or whatever. They had time for us to like go out and like party and like fuck around with our friends and shit. And that like broke up the malaise of school. In high school, it was just like, it was nonstop. What the hell am I doing here? It's just a feeling of like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like seriously, I don't know what I'm doing here. Some of the kids, I think they like, some of the kids, I think they like knew like this is a part of my like 5-step plan or whatever the fuck. But like for the ones that just are like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. This doesn't make any sense. All of this is bullshit. Like if that's you, like then there's no point in getting up in the morning and waking up in the morning like at 6 o'clock in the morning. Why? It's just another chore. That's what it was for me too. It's just like wish I could not have any. You know, and they still want you. They still want you to like mold yourself into something so that you can like be like at the end of this at the end of high school you can be like a rectangle and then put yourself into college, into the rectangle slot of college, and then be molded into like, you know, whatever the fuck you're supposed to, that slot in college, and then be like, oh, now you're a cylinder after your college, and like go into the fucking world and be the fucking find the cylinder slot in the world, and like, yeah, that's all of this. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm seeing all these cylinders in the world, and it's all bullshit. Like, I saw it 15 years ago, and it's all bullshit. Like, all of you are bullshit. So, why am I even going to go through? Why am I going to take step one when I know 15 years from now it just leads to bullshit? So, what's the point? if it's just leading to bullshit, then why? I mean, like, it just ends at Bullshitville. So what's the point? Like, I mean, like, that's why I'm just like, just launch the nukes. Like, it's bullshit. Like, all of it is bullshit. Like, I don't even like. So, whatever. That's my perspective on everything they wanted me to do. But yeah, they never wanted to hear that kind of critical thinking. My critical take on society was, it's all bullshit. I mean, like, when you can see that it's all bullshit, that all of them, all of everyone is dealing with. I mean, it's just. It's like, what's the point? Whatever. So, yeah, make a better school system. And on top of all that, we got people we got people from the poorest motherfuckers in the country, in the world, all over humanity, all the way up to the richest motherfuckers that think that taxing someone one penny is just the worst thing in the world. And it's just like, dude, you are stupid. And I will never be able to convince you that you aren't stupid. It's just like, man, you are the dumbest motherfucker ever. It's just like, I'm just like done arguing with these people. And some of these people are actually like technically smart, technically knowledgeable and everything, but they're just dumb. They're like, I shouldn't be taxed. I earned a degree. I have value added skills. It's like, so you so you think that makes you more valuable than a minimum wage earner, and that makes you think that you should have more money than someone that earns minimum wage. Realize everyone's connected. Everyone should have the same amount of money. You can't get by without the minimum wage earner. You may not be able to see it, but I can. I can fucking see that your life is connected to that guy over in Shanghai. You can't see the connection, but I can. Because you just don't want to or something. I don't know. I don't know why you can't see it. You're even connected. You don't know how you're connected to it, but you're connected to the galaxy 500 billion light years away, too. You're connected to that one. Yeah. You don't know it, but you are. So, maybe people should stop being so stupid. Think with a little bit more vision. I love how these Israelis want to rebuild a temple that's been destroyed for, what, 3,000 years? How do they even know what that thing looks like, anyways? You know, I mean, somebody preserved the architectural plans for 3 millennia, pristinely preserved those plans in what? Papyrus? For 3 millennia? How do they know? I mean, seriously, Jews. Only fucking Jews. You gotta rebuild the temple. God commanded us to rebuild the temple. Dude, whatever. There are 3 big religions. Well, 2 big religions and one itty bitty teensy weensy religion that look at that site as, I look at Jerusalem as a holy site. That's enough of that. What is 70? Oh my god, they got like more than 4 hours. These fucking things. Waiting for my stupid things. I think I'm just gonna end these. So what are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a better educational system or not? Yeah, I don't know. Well, one thing's for sure. Trump's fuck-uppery isn't going to end until he's not president anymore. Because, I mean, the algae in the reflecting pool, I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. So what's going to be the next thing? I mean, if the Iran war actually ends, then he's just going to find another thing to screw up. So I wonder what it's going to be then. What is he going to like? He's going to be like, I'm going to refurbish the Lincoln Memorial. It's like, no. Don't touch Lincoln's balls. They're going to bust one of them. Just stop making things better. If you're going to make things better, why don't you, like, why don't you start making things better that are already shitty? Like, I don't know. What's shitty in America? What are things that are shitty in America? What are things that are shitty in America? Things that are fucked up. Like really, 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 really fucked up. I don't know what's really, really, really fucked up. Something that by making it more fucked up, you could make it better. I don't know. Well, I'm sure there's got to be something like that he could go after, that we could send him after. Like, this is so fucked up that even if you renovate it, there's got to be like neighborhoods like that. Like, why don't you go after like Michigan, like fucking the hood ass parts of Detroit, like that have like the shitty water and stuff like that. Detroit is so fucking shitty, and we're gonna help revitalize Detroit and fix up those factories. Like, yes, excellent. First stage, bulldoze them. All right, so because they're all fucked up and they're shitty, so they have to be bulldozed, right, in order to build new factories there. So even if you end up not building a factory there, like, because you're shitty and incompetent, at least the first stage of the work is done. And for somebody else to come in there, it's easier, right? So, like, yeah, you fucked it up, but you like fucked it up towards a good end. Or like, why don't we go in and bomb Venezuela? But like, bomb the apartment buildings that were damaged by the earthquake. And be like, yeah, we're taking it over. But like, the buildings are already damaged. So they're not going to be used anymore. So you might as well like bomb them. Like, they're gonna be demolished anyways. Yeah, let's just finish the job. It's saving them money. There, you get to be a warmonger and a demolitions expert. Okay, so tax rich people kneecap and tax the wealthy, not the worky. And yeah, it's finally getting a little warm. Um, Boobs, people, boobs. It's a long video. Don't watch it. Don't watch this video. Skip to the end so you can get the warning of don't watch the video.